Okay, class, we are, this is for May the 11th, and this is the second part for Monday. We did part A. Let's go down and look at part B on page 103. So turn your books to page 103. And we have some more vocabulary there. So once again, I will say the words and then you can repeat them after me. A bus person. A bus person. A cashier. A cashier. A construction worker. A construction worker. A cook. A cook. A homemaker. A homemaker. A medical assistant. A medical assistant. A pharmacy technician. A pharmacy technician. In English, the PH of pharmacy, PH is going to sound like an F. So, like phone, PH. So, in English, PH sounds like an F. Okay? The next word is an auto technician. An auto technician. An orderly. An orderly. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take we took what the jobs do and matched them to the pictures. Now we're going to take the titles of the jobs and match them to the pictures, okay? So let me make myself small over in the corner. And let's look at, so number one, he's repairing cars. So number one would be an auto technician. Okay, an auto technician because he's working on cars. Number two, we see somebody operating large machinery. So that would be a construction worker. A construction worker operates like those forklifts and all those kinds of big machines. Okay, so a bus person clears the table, so that's number 3. And number 4, a cook is someone that prepares the food. Who assists the doctor? And a medical assistant. Well, hold on. Okay, so an orderly might help the doctor, I guess, because we need medical assistant for another one. Number 6, who takes care of the family? A homemaker. Number 7, a cashier is someone who handles money. What? All right. And number 8, who helps the pharmacist? A pharmacy technician. Right? And number 9, who helps the nurses? A medical assistant. Okay? So there's your answers for part B. You can go ahead and make any corrections that you need to. And then come back and we will continue on. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and erase these now. And the next thing that we're going to do is you need to get your your a workbook out, and we're going to do pages 96 and 97. So you may want to go ahead and stop the video now, complete pages 96 and 97, and then come back and we will finish it up together. Okay? Okay, so you should have went ahead and finished page 96 and 97. We see another, at the top of page 96, we see another email, right? And I'm going to read it to you, and then we're going to work through these questions together. To whom it may concern, I am happy to write this recommendation for Frederico Robles. Frederico is a student in the Medical Assistant Certification Program here at WCC. He will graduate in June. Frederico is an excellent student and a hard worker. He can manage a medical office, schedule appointments, and take care of patient records. He can assist doctors with many duties. I recommend Frederico very highly. He will be an excellent medical assistant. Please contact me for more information. Sincerely, Carrie McIntosh, Instructor, WCC, Westport Community College. Okay, so let's go down and look at number 1. Carrie McIntosh is Frederico's, you're given the answer C, instructor. So let's look at number 2. The recommendation is about Carrie McIntosh, Frederico, or Frederico's new boss. The answer is going to be B, because it's about Frederico, right? This is his recommendation. Number 3, Frederico, can he manage a medical office, schedule appointments, or both? Well, if we scan back up, it says he can manage a medical office and schedule appointments. So that means the answer is going to be C. He can do both. Number 4, Frederico is looking for a job, is going to start school, or has a job now. Well, this recommendation is coming from the school, so he's not starting school. He's probably finishing school and looking for a job. So the answer is going to be A. Number 5, in June, Frederico is going to get a new job, B, graduate, or C, quit his job. So if we look back up in the paragraph, it says he will graduate in June. So the answer is going to be B, graduate. Number 6, what is the purpose of this email? Was it A, to say hello to Frederico, B, to help Frederico get a job, or C, to find a new medical assistant? Well, this is a recommendation, so that means it's going to be B, to help Frederico get a job, right? So your answers are B, C, A, B, and B. Okay, make any corrections that you need, because I'm going to start erasing those, and we are going to go down to part 2. If you haven't done part 2, go ahead and stop the video and do part 2. But remember to, when you're writing these answers, we're using complete sentences, okay? So who wrote the email? Carrie McIntosh wrote the email, right? Because we see it sincerely, Carrie McIntosh. So she's signing it, so she wrote the email. Number 2, when did she write the email? She wrote the email on May 25th, 2018, right? Because we know this because it says date at the very top. Date, May 25th, 2018. Okay, So let's go to number 3. Where does she teach? She is she's a teacher or instructor at Westport Community College, right? Because we see that it says at the very last, below her signature, it says instructor, WCC, Westport Community College. Number 4, what program does she teach in? She teaches the medical assistant program, right? She teaches the medical assistant certification program, because we know this because it says Frederico is a student in the medical assistant certificate program, I guess, program at WCC. So we know that if that's what he's getting and she's his teacher, then that's what she is teaching, right? So let's move on to number 5. What job skills did Frederico learn? Right? We need to list them. He can, if you look up in the second paragraph, we find manage a medical office, right? He can schedule appointments. And he can take care of patient records. Okay, so those are some of the things that that Frederico I guess has been doing or can do at the medical office. Okay, so these are your answers for part 2 on page 96. Once again, I would encourage you to make any corrections that you need to, and by stopping the video. The other thing is, I would like for you to stop the video and go back up to part 1 and practice reading that that letter out loud, that email, that recommendation. That's just more good practice in reading, because we just practice our writing. Now we're going to move to page 97 and we're going to work on some vocabulary. Okay, so scoot on over to page 97. Okay, so on page 97 we have a series of 8 pictures, 4 on one side of the page and 4 on the other. So in the first picture, it's hard to see, but it's like a bunch of cash registers, computer cash registers, down a line. B, that looks like they're building something. That looks like some kind of a backhoe, another large piece of equipment. Number 3, looks like a little kid in a high chair at home. So, and number 4 looks like a patient room at a doctor's office. And number 6, we see the inside of a car, maybe with the hood is raised, and that's the engine of a car. Letter F is in a school. G looks like an industrial kitchen, not like a kitchen in a house, but like one in a restaurant. And H looks like we have some supplies in the hallway, maybe at a hospital. So if number 1 says auto mechanic, and that's going to be with picture E. So number 1, picture E, right? We see how the line is drawn to picture E. So let's look at number 2, is an orderly, right? And we can put that with picture H all the way down at the bottom, because we know that orderlies will deliver supplies to rooms. Number 3 is a homemaker. So a homemaker, one of the things that they do is take care of the kids. So we're going to go with picture C. Number 4 says cashier. So we know that's A because we see that long line of cash registers there. And number 5 is a construction worker. A construction worker uses big equipment, so that's going to be picture B. A medical assistant. A medical assistant can work in a clinic or a hospital, and since we have the picture of like maybe a patient room at a clinic or somewhere, we're going to use, we're going to say picture D. Number 7 is a cook. A cook's going to work in a kitchen, and that's pictured in G. And number 8 is a teacher. And of course, a teacher is going to work in a school or a classroom, and we see that in picture F. All right, so go ahead and make any corrections you need to that. You can pause it, make corrections, but also pause it to go ahead and complete 4. You're going to use these jobs listed: auto mechanic, orderly, homemaker, cashier, construction worker, medical assistant, cook, and teacher to fill in the answers for part 4. Okay? All right. So pause it, get it done, and then come back and we will go over it together. Okay, so we're going to finish up with part 4. Number 1 says a homemaker takes care of the family. 2, blank operates large machines. That's construction worker. Right? 3, who helps the nurses? An orderly helps the nurses. Number 4, who assists the doctor? The nurse assists the doctor. Because remember, the orderlies don't do anything medical. Okay? Who repairs cars? An auto mechanic. Will repair your car. Who teaches students? A teacher will teach students, right? And number 7, who handles money? A cashier handles money. And number 8, who prepares food? A cook will prepare your food. Okay, so that brings us to the end of part 2. Go ahead and leave your name in the comment section so you get credit for having viewed it. And once again, there's all my information if you need to stop the video and get and jot that down. I'll see you all in just a minute. We're going to continue with part 3.